The UK is trying to rejoin Europe, and they're really annoying the US by doing it. If you don't know, yesterday the UK signed a really big trade deal with the EU, and they said they did it because the US President Trump is being so unpredictable with his trade deals. But it's worth knowing that the UK actually held a really big and really important meeting yesterday with leaders of the European Union, like Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the EU, and a few other important leaders. Although, according to the report, these meetings went on way longer than expected, and they lasted all the way into the early hours of yesterday morning. But there were some really big things that were agreed on in these meetings. More is yet to come, but for example, European ships are going to be allowed to carry out fishing in British waters, which is something they haven't been able to do since the UK left the EU. But I will say that in return, British ships have been given the same privileges, and they're going to be allowed to fish in EU waters as well. And as well as that, something else they said, there's going to be a lot less border checks when it comes to sending goods between the EU and the UK from now on. And according to the report, those stronger border checks and extra paperwork meant it was a lot harder for smaller farmers to sell their food and other things to the EU. Obviously, that meant they had to sell it in the UK, but because of mismanagement, they were competing with big supermarkets, which meant that they weren't making any money. Now, the new Labour government in the UK has said that moving closer to Europe is going to provide a lot more jobs and make the economy much better, although they haven't really released any proof of that. Either way, the UK has had a really big meeting with the EU leaders, and it seems the UK is going to be moving much closer to the EU again, rather than starting to work with the US and other countries like they previously wanted to. As usual, you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.